Hello Facebook Live, it is Cricket the Wax Chick here. This is my first Facebook Live, and because I never do anything halfway, I am going to do a live half leg wax with my liquid gold strip wax here from Beelicious, and let's just see how this goes, shall we? I won't be able to answer any questions during this because I won't be able to see your comments or questions, but please, if you have any, post them and I will answer them after the video this afternoon or tomorrow. But thanks for watching. I did not post this that I was going to do it because I just now decided that I was definitely going to do it. So I have my client here, I have her legs ready to go. So let me just position the camera. And we are going, I think I lost you guys for a second, sorry. All right, here are my half legs. I hope you can see them pretty well here. And so my client has lotion on her legs. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a couple of cotton rounds with some witch hazel on them and just remove that lotion, because if it's too oily, the wax will not adhere to the skin. And when I do a half leg, it's from the top of the knee all the way down to the toes. So that's what I'm going to clean on both sides, and then I'll have her put her leg up and clean the back side, and put her leg up and clean the back side on the other leg. And then because I want to make sure that her legs are dry, I'm just taking a clean towel and wiping them dry. And then have her lift up and make sure they're dry. Her legs are nice and hairy. I hope you can see that. Now, before I get started, what I like to do is take a little bit of my Wonder Whip, and this is my pre and post balm. So this isn't greasy or oily, so it's not going to leave an oily film on the skin. But it's going to keep the legs hydrated, and especially the lower legs. The knees and the lower legs tend to be drier. So you put a little bit in your hand, you rub that together, and then you just apply it. It's not a lot. Go lift your leg up for me. You're just coating the skin lightly to help keep it hydrated. Especially the knees and the feet, they tend to get dry, especially this time of year. And the other side. There we go. Put your legs down. And I have my blue wax pad underneath right here. And I always put some table paper on top of that in case any wax spills. It comes off easily, but I'm lazy. I don't want to have to clean a lot. Now, if you think you put too much Wonder Whip on, again, just get a nice paper towel and wipe a little bit. It's not going to totally remove it, so it's still going to be protective for your client. And then, so now we can start waxing. So generally what I will do is have my client lift her knee, and I think you can still see that. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. So I like to put the knee in this position in order to wax around the curves here first. And I prefer to use a cotton strip, and this is a really wide cotton strip, as you can see. It's about 3.5 inches wide, and I use a roll. So I cut my strips to the length that I want. And as you can see, this strip is the length of the leg. So it makes it a lot quicker and faster. And this is really thick cotton. And again, this is something that you can also purchase on my website, beeliciouswax.com. And it's thick. So what that means is you can get more pulls out of one strip. So here we go. So again, we're using the liquid gold and my wax. I deposit it first and then thinly. I keep my stick straight up and down and apply all around the knee. And to the side. I think you guys can still see that. And with the strip wax, I go into the other side. I'm putting as much as I can, and I only tend to start with the knee. Because there's so many nooks and crannies on the knee, it can be a little bit difficult. So now we have the whole knee covered in wax here, the liquid gold. So I'm going to start on the outside, give a couple of rubs, pull the skin taut, remove. Again, now I have two angles, one going up, one going back. So I'm going to pull up and then back. If I tried to take both of those angles at the same time, I might not get the best hair removal. So again, two different angles here. So I'm going to go up and then back. And working around to the side. Now, what's great about the liquid gold is that it doesn't leave a sticky residue. I can touch it, it's not tacky or sticky. So this is the loveliness that just came off of her kneecap. I love it. So then I'm gonna fold this over just like that so I can use the rest of my strip. Now, speed waxing isn't about being fast necessarily, but it's about applying all the wax at once and then removing it at once. So I'm gonna go down this side of the leg. And apply the wax all the way around the leg before I start removing. I'm not going to apply and remove, apply and remove. That just takes way too much time. And I don't know if you can see, but the wax kind of didn't stick right here, which means I might have gotten a little bit too much Wonder Whip on there. And that's fine. I'll just go right back over it. And it covers nice and thin. No worries at all. And I'm grabbing a new wax stick every time I apply wax. Again, right down the side. Now I've got wax covering the whole front of my leg. So I take my strip, which still is covering the whole front of my leg. Just about, it's a wee bit short. And then pull. And then again, I can cover a lot of ground with this 3.5-inch strip, and it's really long. And sometimes the lower leg can tend to be a little bit cool. So if the wax sticks like that, it can be because there's a dry patch of skin, or because the leg is a little bit cold. So I'll just hold my strip there, warm up the wax, and remove. See how nice and easy that came off? And again, I just went right around. Again, if the leg is cold or it could be a dry patch, just hold your hand there and remove. Nice and clean, not sticky, not tacky. Just get little bits that are around the ankle corners here. So I did the whole front of the leg with just this one strip. Now I'm going to do the arch area and the toes. And her toes are a little chilly, so I'm just gonna warm them up a little bit with my hand. And because if it's cold, the wax will stick and you'll have a hard time. So you can just use friction to warm up those little toesies. And when you get to this part, it's totally up to you. You can use a strip wax or a hard wax on the top of the foot and the toes. Either one works great. And then I cut a little bit shorter of a strip, so I don't have to fight it. And because her foot's cold, I'm just gonna let my hand warm up the area a little bit before I remove, so that everything comes off with my pull, so that I don't have any wax left behind. So the whole front of her leg up to her knee up here is nice and clean. And I'm gonna save this for the other side, for her foot on the other side. I'm gonna have her put this down and then raise this leg. And we're gonna repeat what we did on this side on this side. And her knee is a little bit cold, so I'm just gonna again use the friction from my hand to warm up her knee and her calf if it's cold, so that I don't have problems with the wax. And again, I start from the top of the knee and come down. Your application on the knee is going to be a little bit wonky because it's not a smooth surface, so you may have to go back and fill in cracks and crevices. But that's perfectly fine. And then I'm going to come over to the side and get the side on there. I'm going to turn her leg a bit and get this side over here. I'm pulling the skin taut too to help me kind of get a smoother surface of application. And again, a clean stick for every time you dip into the wax. And gloves, always gloves. I'm taking another wax strip. And again, I'm going to start on the outside of the knee, a little bit of pressure. And if her skin feels cold to me, I'm just going to leave it there for a second, so that when I remove, everything comes off. And then again, we're going to have two planes, this way and this way. So I'm not going to try to take one giant pull. I'm going to remove here in two pulls. One up to the kneecap and then one back. So that I'm getting the cleanest hair removal possible. And then I'm just continuing all the way around from this side to that side. And then kind of making sure I get as much as I can, but again, it's not sticky or tacky. So I'm gonna have her put her leg down again. And again, here's what we got off of her kneecap. And I'm just gonna fold that over and use the rest of this strip to wax the front of her leg like we did on the other side. turn her leg a little bit and apply the wax in a nice smooth application. 90-degree angle, straight up and down with the stick. Deposit the wax, pull the skin taut, 90-degree angle. And again, 90-degree angle, pulling the skin taut from the opposite direction. And a teeny bit more here. All the way down to those little ankles. Now, speed waxing is applying all to one area and then removing. So I'm going to turn her leg just a wee bit. And again, if you feel that her leg is cold, just go ahead and keep that pressure there. And when you remove, you always want to make sure that you're keeping your pull straight. You never want to lift up like that. You always want to keep parallel with the skin. That's going to be more comfortable for your client, and you'll get a better hair removal. I'm going to turn her leg a little bit this way. Nice and easy. So that is the front of that leg. So we've used 2 strips so far. One for the front of this leg and one and about a half for the feet. So now we're going to do the top of the feet on this side. And she only has hair on the first 3 toes. So check your client out and put the wax where they have the hair. And I'm taking my other strip that I used on the other side to use over here. Again, her feet are a little chilly, so I'm just going to kind of leave my hand there to kind of warm it up for a second, so that when I remove it, everything comes off nice and clean. Like that. Okay, so now, bear with us for just a second, because I need to have my client turn over so I can get the back side. Go ahead and turn over. There we go. And what I'm going to have her do is, normally I have her scooch down to hang her feet off the side, like that, so that she can flex her feet to get a good tight stretch on the calf here. So hopefully that looks pretty good to you guys. And now we just need to do this strip on both sides. Now I'm going to apply first on this side over here. Again, stick straight up, 90-degree angle. Deposit first, hold the skin tight, stick straight up, 90-degree angle, all the way down to the ankles. Stick straight up, 90 degrees, all the way down to the ankles. See how nice and thin the application is? And I got one little bit here. Sorry, I had to get in front of you maybe. Hopefully you can still see. Now, the beauty in speed waxing is that you can apply a lot of wax and then go back and remove it. So I'm going to apply this side as well. Nice and thin. Again, I'm pulling the skin taut from this direction. Applying my wax nice and thin. And I'm just going to keep going around here. All the way down her ankle-y part there. I'm going to grab another strip, my nice wide strip, and start removing. So I started on this side to apply because I didn't want to be leaning over into wax from this side. Now I'm going to remove on this side because when I do that side, I don't want to be leaning over and touching the wax. I'm just going to start from the outside or inside of the leg, as it may be, to remove. And I'm keeping the strip close to the skin. I'm not lifting up. I'm keeping my hand low and close. And again, if her skin is a little cool, so you want to heat up those areas where the wax is, you feel the coolness so that everything just comes off all at the same time. You can kind of look around the corners here. So again, the great thing about this wax is it's not sticky or tacky. There's no stickiness here. I don't have to go back and clean up a bunch of wax. So now this leg's clean, so if I lean up against it, I'm not going to get wax on myself. Now I'm going to come over to the other side. I can still use the same strip because they're nice and thick. And again, her leg's a little bit chilly, so I'm just going to give it some extra friction here so that I get all the wax off with one pull. Apply the strip back down, a little bit of friction. See, her leg is a little bit cool there. So I'm just gonna, or it could be dry. So I'm gonna put my hand back down just for a sec. Hold it there. And remove, and it comes right up. Turn the leg a little bit. Again, if you guys have any questions, I will answer them after because I cannot see or read at this moment. So I apologize for that. And then remove. And I'm just checking around the corner here. A little bit there. Again, lower legs always tend to be cold, so there we go. So that one strip took all the wax and the hair from both back sides of the legs. Now I'm going to show you a little trick. Like I said, there is really no stickiness or tackiness. But this is something that I always do after I wax any body part with strip wax. I take a clean strip and I take a little bit of the wax and spread it on that clean strip just like that. And then I apply it to the skin and just remove, still as if I'm waxing, keeping low and close to the body. So what this does is will remove any stickiness or tackiness that you have remaining on the skin. So wax on, wax off. So the wax will stick to the wax, so it's nice and clean for your customer, and they don't feel sticky or tacky. I'm gonna have her turn back over to the front. think you guys can still see that. And I'm still going to use this little strip. And again, this is just to go, and if there happens to be any stickiness or tackiness, this is just going to help remove it so that your customer doesn't leave sticky and tacky. But again, the liquid gold doesn't leave the stickiness or tackiness behind. So there you go. And the final thing that I do is, again, I take some Wonder Whip, just a little bit. And again, it's not greasy or oily. Rub it together so that it emulsifies in the hands, and then I'm just going to put it on to calm and soothe the skin and also hydrate the skin. Now that is, I'm gonna take you guys off my little stand here. So there you go, you guys. That is a lower leg wax with my Beelicious liquid gold strip wax. And I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave your comments. I have to go finish my client. She has some other services today, and she was gracious enough to let me Facebook Live her for a lower leg wax. So my first Facebook Live, I went all out. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a great day. Oh, again, you can purchase everything that I've used here today, the liquid gold strip wax, the Blue Shield wax pad, the Wonder Whip on beliciouswax.com. Thanks you guys for watching.